Welcome back to Time with God series, Bible study with me, WendyMichelle Thompson. Today's reading is in Numbers 19. This is the ordinance of the red heifer. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, This is the statute of the law which the Lord has commanded. Tell the Israelites to bring you an unblemished red heifer in which there is no defect, and on which a yoke has never been placed. You shall give it to Eleazar the priest, and it shall be brought outside the camp and be slaughtered in his presence. Next, Eleazar the priest shall take some of its blood with his finger and sprinkle some of it toward the front of the tent of meeting, the tabernacle, 7 times. Verse 5. Then the heifer shall be burned in his sight, its skin, its flesh, its blood, and its waste shall be burned, reduced to ash. The priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet material and cast them into the midst of the burning heifer. Then the priest shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterward come into the camp, but he shall be ceremonially unclean until evening. The one who burns the heifer shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and shall be unclean until evening. Now a man who is ceremonially clean shall collect the ashes of the heifer and deposit them outside the camp in a clean place. And the congregation of the Israelites shall keep it for water to remove impurity. It is to be used for purification from sin. Verse 10. The one who gathers the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. This shall be a perpetual statute to the Israelites and to the stranger who lives as a resident alien among them. Please excuse me. I have some major congestion going on. I pray it doesn't bother you. I'm trying to breathe here. Verse 11. The one who touches the dead body of any person shall be unclean for 7 days. That one shall purify himself from uncleanness with the water made with the ashes of the burned heifer on the 3rd day and on the 7th day, and then he will be clean. But if he does not purify himself on the 3rd day and on the 7th day, he will not be clean. Whoever touches a corpse, the body of anyone who has died, and does not purify himself, defiles the tabernacle of the Lord, and that person shall be cut off from Israel, that is, excluded from the atonement made for them, because the water for impurity was not sprinkled on him. He shall be unclean. His uncleanness is still on him. This is the law when a man dies in a tent. Everyone who comes into the tent and everyone who is in the tent shall be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. Verse 15. Every open container in the tent which has no covering tied down on it is unclean. Also, anyone in the open field who touches one who has been killed with a sword, or who has died of natural causes, or a human bone, or a grave, shall be unclean for 7 days. Then for the unclean person, they shall take some of the ashes of the heifer, burnt for the purification from sin, and running water shall be added to them in a container. A clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water, and sprinkle it on the tent and on the furnishings and on the people who were there, and on the one who touched the bone, or the one who was killed, or the one who died naturally or in the grave, then the clean person shall sprinkle the water for purification on the unclean person on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. And on the 7th day the unclean man shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be ceremonially clean at evening. Verse 20. But the man who is unclean and does not purify himself, that person shall be cut off from among the assembly, because he has defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The water for purification has not been sprinkled on him. He is unclean. So it shall be a perpetual statute to them. He who sprinkles the water for impurity on another shall wash his clothes, and he who touches the water for impurity shall be unclean until evening. Furthermore, anything the unclean person touches shall be unclean, and anyone who touches it shall be ceremonially unclean until evening. And that concludes Numbers 19. I pray that you are receiving some value and joy in just hearing God's word each day. If you do, please give video a thumbs up. We want more likes so that YouTube will spread it out to more people. Put the video in front of other people that normally would not see it. And if you have not subscribed, please do so and hit the bell for notifications so that you never miss a chapter, and also the other playlists that I have going. I love you guys. God bless your today and all your tomorrows.